Hello and welcome to another episode of the Untergraben podcast, the podcast from undergrounded.de. And this time in the English language because of our English-speaking guests today. Let me introduce you to two illustrious figures from the Hole in the Sun collective. We have here with us Miss Ionescu and Mr. Lior Delman from the Hole in the Sun crew. And let me also say warm welcome to my brother-in-arms, Sebi from Undergrounded as well. Hello to you guys. I hope everything's fine with you.
Hello, hello.
Nice to have you here in our podcast. Today's topic will be, we will speak about the Hole in the Sun collective in general. We will speak especially about the Hole in the Sun festival that is coming up in June. To be more specific, it will take place from June 16th to June 18th this month.
17th.
In June 17th, sorry, it's Sunday the 18th already. It will take place in the middle of June in Kassel, near Kassel, to be more specific, in Espenau, which is pretty close in the north. But it will take place for the first time. So you guys already have made experiences with hosting festivals and events. You, for example, had the Hole in the Sun Transcendence Festival in October last year, for example, in the Goldgrube in Kassel. But your collective is more than, your collective grew, and you are now planning to host a whole festival. Your connections are spread out way past the borders of only Kassel and central Germany. So I will now pass over to you guys, and you will just tell the audience what to expect from the Hole in the Sun festival this year. So maybe you want to start, firstly, speak about what the Hole in the Sun collective really is and what the philosophy and your vision is.
Okay, so we Hole in the Sun Festival will consist of 20 bands over 2 days, right in central Germany, near right in the center, in a town called Espenau. We have really interesting bands, starting from headliners such as Nagelfar and Dark and Nocturnes, Slaughter Cold, all the way to Bewitched, who are doing, I guess you can say, a comeback show after some years of absence from the stages, and bands like Achlis, Chaos Invocation, and many, many more from almost all over the world. We even have Umbra Conscientia from, Alex, can you remind me where are they from? Costa Rica, right?
Exactly, so they're from Costa Rica, so the guys will be flying in, I think just 1 or 2 weeks before our festival, and it will be their first show in Germany, actually.
Yes, that will be their debut show in Germany. It will be fantastic. The location itself is almost magical. It's in some kind of meadow. The place is called Steinbruch, which means stone something. Where you
it's
dig
like
stones.
Stone orrery. Is that the right term? I guess.
Maybe,
yeah.
but nothing could be farther from that because it's all full of trees and it's in a meadow. And the camping ground is really under many, many trees, and there is shade, so you don't need to wake up from the heat and from the sun on your tent. Which is wonderful, it's really, really great. We're expecting a capacity of 700 people, and we would like to keep it that way, very small.
The festival site itself has not been used for different musical events before, right?
There was an annual local metal festival, very small. I think it was called Steinbruch Metal Fest. I think it consisted of some local bands. There was a local promoter there, and sadly, they had some issues this year, and the city council decided to not give them a green light for the festival. which is something important. Many people mistake that festival that got cancelled is ours, and I want to clarify that it is not. We have all of the green lights and all of the ahead, and everything will go as planned.
Okay. That sounds very nice. I hope that we will shortly speak about like all the difficulties you faced, like when you organize a festival in this size category. But let us first speak about the Hole in the Sun collective in general. In the past, you hosted several events in Kassel, in the Goldgrube, and yeah, you always have the concept of Hole in the Sun was always to have like it's not always black metal bands you have there. It's more the okay, maybe it is mostly mostly black metal, but you always have like conceptually occult bands who represent not anything generic. I think. What is the philosophy about Hole in the Sun hosting events like that in general?
So when we started Hole in the Sun in 2018, it was myself, a girl called Stephanie. Sadly, she's no longer with us, and a very good friend of mine, Jens, whom I used to work with doing sound for shows, etc. And we wanted to bring something different to the table because all of the shows that we had in this area for black metal were very generic, and we wanted to be to bring more occult bands to keep it more vibrant, to bring a more spiritual concept into the scene, which I think we did pretty well. Our first event was with Disengelium, Crimson Moon. We had a band from Israel called Umba. God damn it, I can't remember.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and the band that played their first show there were KVR, Cure, I guess you say, and which they will play at this festival as well. Since then, I found more team members such as Alex here, which helped me tremendously. We really together with her, we really brought hits to where it is now, which is great.
I think back then the shows were also taking place at K19 in Kassel.
That's right.
And that's when I first came in as well. And we were doing the bar ourselves. So Delman once messaged me and it's like, okay, Alex, can you help me out at the bar? So I came all the way from Switzerland together with another girl, with Lucy. She's as well no longer part of the team. And we drove from Switzerland about 8 hours with traffic and everything. And I was part of Hole in the Sun from the second event. And that was 2018, so 5 years ago almost. And that's when we first started putting our team together.
I'm curious as to how many people are currently part of your team.
I believe 7. We were 8, and now we are 7. We are. Oh, yeah, I think we are 7.
We're 7, yeah.
I think we need to check at the group chat. So yeah. It is me, Leo. I guess you can say founder, and then there is Lucas Dietrich. He's our production manager, and then we have Alex. She's our bar and media manager. We have Fabian. I guess you know him from a certain band that might that is playing at the festival. He's our technical manager. He's doing an excellent work. We have Thea. She's the merchandise manager. We have Nelly. She's our bar manager. And we have another member for the festival. It can't really say it's part of the team. It's Florian. He's our stage manager for this festival. Am I forgetting anyone? Because I think I had too much of
No,
this.
that should be all.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Yes, and yeah, when we book shows or when we book this festival, we toss ideas. I guess we all feed this engine somehow. That's how we come up with concepts and problems and solutions.
Yeah.
And it works great.
In my opinion, it worked very great. Like when we visited the Hole in the Sun Transcendence Festival, Sebi and I were there, sadly for the first time, but fortunately for the first time for us last year. How was it for you, Sebi?
Yes, it was a great festival. It was a great event. Sadly, one of the bands, I think, had to cancel last minute. But nevertheless, every band put on a great show, and the sound was actually fantastic for the kind of venue that Goldgrube is. It's pretty small, and I actually pretty much like the sound. Seldom heard bands in such a tight space sound better. That's just a compliment to you, Lior.
Yes.
Because,
thank you.
Well, now our viewers might know that you are the sound engineer for Hole in the Sun also.
I try not to be. I do it when there is no other choice. I would rather stick to being the manager of the event. Thing is that we had unforeseen issues that day, and our team were short by 3 hands. So I just had to do that as well on top of my other roles. But I think that it worked out great.
So, if I understand you correctly, you try not to do the sound on your own events.
That's right.
Is that true for the festival as well? Will you be doing the sound or won't you?
I will be doing the sound only to bands that are bands that I always work with, such as Nagelfar, Bewitched, Malachim, and Theotoxin. Okay. Those are the bands that always hire me to sound and TM. So yeah, I guess I can skip for an hour or two to do the sound and go back to my duties. I think it will be okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's good to have people that you can trust and rely upon if you can't do the job yourself. So that's great, I think.
Trust is a big word, but
it probably is, yeah. But I believe you trust in your team, and so you might be able to step back from your duties as the festival organizer for a bit and trust that it will run smoothly in the meanwhile.
Yes, I think that that's exactly what I shall do. And I think that it's also good that I will step back for a moment from all the stressful situations and just focus on the sound for an hour, and then I return to do what needs to be done. And I think it will be great for everyone.
Let's hope that, of course. We were pretty stoked for the festival, and we will shortly proceed to speaking about the festival a little bit more. But first, you spoke about your whole team that consists of musicians, technicians, you as a sound engineer. Everyone brings different talents to the collective, and that is, I think, a very important thing for organizing such an event of this size. And what's exactly the strategy if anything goes wrong? I suppose you're facing many obstacles and difficulties when organizing, but if anything goes wrong, if a band cancels last minute, maybe stuff won't work since, like, let's face it, things can change, like with travel restrictions, and for example, also we would read about difficulties from bands who travel from abroad, from England, for example, which is no longer part of the EU. So what's the strategy if anything goes wrong?
If I can say something regarding the flights, we've taken things like this into consideration as well. And when booking flights or when booking transport for bands, we've looked at alternative options as well. So we left some time that, okay, in case a flight gets cancelled or a connection gets cancelled, they still have the time to catch a second one. And a lot of the bands that are arriving, they are arriving a day earlier, for example. So we're making sure that they are there on site before the festival actually begins. And as I said, on the worst case scenario, there's a few other connections that they can catch. And been monitoring quite closely the SAS situation, and it's been gotten way better since last summer. So quite positive that flights will be more on track this summer.
Mm.
Yes, especially when most of the bands arrive by vehicles rather than flights. I think the only bands who fly in are Nagelfar, Malachim, Bewitched, also Umbra, Conscientia, and the Datus and Trivex. I hope I'm saying Trivex right. Those bands come from England, and as you mentioned, that England is no longer part of the EU. Good riddance. But I don't expect any problems there. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is a flight gets cancelled, and but they are scheduled to land a day earlier. So whatever happens, we are all good. And at worst case scenario, we have a list of bands that just wish to play at all in the sun, and I think that in that case we are ready for any possible scenario.
So in this case, I hope you will still be able, besides all the stress, to like enjoy your own festival as well.
We hope so as well. We really hope so. It is our first open air production, so to speak. Mm. However, in our own, how should I say, in our own jobs, that is what we do. We work in festivals, we work in production, so we bring that experience into Hall in the sun. So it's not like we are completely fresh and being thrown into the deep water. I believe we can swim. However, any problem that there is and any mistake that we will make is something to learn from. As long as you don't repeat the mistake twice, then it's all good. And you can always make mistakes and better yourself.
I guess so.
I think as Delman said, pretty much the whole team has experience running events or working at open air festivals, working at events and being in that environment and being able to work under pressure as well and being able to deal with these unforeseen circumstances. So we're more than confident in our team and what we've seen from the past that we can, of course, tackle this on.
That sounds very good. I mean, if you don't start like with a big event, you just you collect experiences like hosting, for example, smaller events at first, and I think Honda-san grew to like tackle this bigger issue now. I feel like it. The thing is, when did you guys first speak about hosting a festival like in this size?
Alex, I think that is something that we always toyed with. We always threw like, what if we make a festival, or what if we do something larger? I think we always try to play with with that idea. And I think it was during the lockdown when we had our own summer solstice / Saturnalia party at my place that we really said, fuck it, I think we can do it, and we can do it even in a very good way. And slowly the idea has formed into something more concrete.
Yeah.
So you could say it was some kind of evolution for Hole in the Sun to go from smaller events to this bigger event now on. And do you plan it for a one-time thing only for now, or is it something you could imagine doing more of in the future?
I think it's hard
like
to
an
say.
annual event, maybe.
We would really like to initiate some sort of tradition with an annual summer event and a small winter event somewhere. But I think everything depends on the success of the festival, and from that point we will really see where we can take it, what we can change, because you can always change, you can always improve. I don't know, Alex.
And to take things as well one at a time, right? We're first doing this production, and then after this, let's see what else we can bring on and what else we have learned from this production and what can we improve and do better. If we do have the same ideas, we can, of course, aim to do a second production and a third production. But I think for us now, the most important thing is just to focus on what we have now going on, and then to start planning for the future.
Yes, I think the same as Alex. We are setting ourselves to give everything that we got for this specific festival, and we are really putting there so much effort. And only then, when it's over, we will see where the future takes us.
I guess so. I think it's best, like, first have the event, like see what problems you will face, see what can be improved, and let's face it, an event that like takes place for the first time always faces some issues, like will everything go well, like on the site, on the area as well. And I'm curious as to what do you have to do, like at first, to when you start planning, before you even consider what bands are going to be there, before you even consider like how do you do promotion and stuff like that. What do you do first? I mean, I remember you were talking, like, was it 2 years ago already? When you said you were talking, you had a meeting with the authorities of the city of Kassel, for example.
Yes, I think that the first step is this.
The first step is this.
This is the first step, and then you need a concept. Yes. And we sat down and we said, are we doing it like a 1-day festival, 2-day festival? What kind of bands? What do we and where? I think location was a problem. We really searched for location for a long time. No, Alex? I think 1 year we have searched for location, or even more.
Even more, yeah. I think.
And each time it was problematic. In my opinion, it's easier to find locations in the east part of Germany, since I guess the authorities there are less strict than they are in Hessen area. But we managed to find this place, and we really fell in love with it, because it was just fantastic. The way that it's built, the location and everything. So then we said, okay, let's do it for 2 days, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And what was the next step? In so long.
I think we started looking, okay, what do we need to do next? Of course, we looked looking at the lineup or looking at the bands, that's the fun part. And you can sketch and draw on the paper, okay, I want this band and this band. And I think that's something to like keep you going, that, okay, we're going to get a band like Nagelfar or Malachim or Dark and Doctor Call to play. And that's what kind of keeps you going. But then it brings you back to reality, okay, we have a field. How can we bring this? Okay, do we have like infrastructure? Like, we need electricity, we need water, oh, we need permissions. Oh, we're in Germany, people will drive. Where do people put their cars? People need to camp. We need a space for camping. Then we had one of the problems was that the fields, the grass needs to be cut, for example.
That's right. The field that is supposed to be for the parking is a field that the farmers their own, where they I think they grow their hay for their livestock.
Okay.
And we had to find the farmers. So Lucas and I just drove to the village, and we went door by door to find the farmer that owns that land. And luckily, we have found him, and we talked, and he was a really great guy, and we all reached a certain understanding. And yeah, it was really hard work, but we learned so much. It's crazy. We learned about rules and regulations and how to deal with authorities and the city council. We had to present the council with our concept. So we did a whole presentation on PowerPoint, and we sat with the officials there. It was really stressful, but we did it well, I think, because they gave us the green light. Still, there are things that we are solving, such as security, traffic concepts. But everything looks great. Everything is ready, I think. Everything but the audience. Come.
Yeah.
Come to us.
I think people tend to underestimate what has to be taken care of when you host a festival, when you organize stuff like that. You already mentioned the small things, things that are mostly like to be taken for granted for visitors, which at first have to be organized as well, of course. What were the biggest obstacles you faced so far?
I guess the biggest one was location. That was really the biggest problem, because we had emails back and forth with different locations, and even with this one, because it is owned by the city of Espenau, and we always had to be in touch with their offices and everything. And for every small detail, the conversation would have stopped until we would get the license for that, or the green light from that department, and then going back. It was really a chaos. I think that was the biggest part. Booking bands came really easy, because we wrote like a pool of bands. I think that the pool overall was over 100 bands that we had to choose from. But luckily, we all have more or less the same taste, so it came kind of easy. What was more difficult, Alex? Like to find the place, or something else?
I think the place and all the authorizations was the most difficult part.
Yes.
The part that took the longest. And then just to solve small issues like this, like how we said with the field for parking. I remember we came to Kassel, and on a winter day we had to measure all of the fields, and in -5 degrees measure every inch of all of these fields.
Yeah.
So there were definitely a lot of ups and downs. Booking booking the bands was one of the easier parts.
I guess especially if you already had connections, you have several bands you already worked with, and there are so many bands who are part of the festival right now, whom you already worked with, who were already guests at one of the past editions. So it must have been an easier thing to get the bands on board, I guess.
I think so, yeah. I think booking bands, especially bands whom I am involved with, that was really easy because I said, hey, man, we are doing this festival, yeah, and I think it's time to cash in, on the favors. Nah, I'm joking. Yeah, I mean, we all had the concept for the bands. Luckily, all of the bands were on board easily, especially with Bewitched. I must say, I thought it would be almost impossible to book them because Bewitched don't really want to play that often. And I just said, how about we do a show? And at first they said, nah, we don't know. We need to rehearse. I don't know if I have the strength. So we just stopped it there. And then one day I just said, how about you do the show? I said, okay.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
And
nice.
that was that was great. That was, yeah. I think that it's the first show in Europe since, no, I'm sorry. They had a show last month in Greece. But
Greece, okay.
I guess it doesn't really count because it's so south. But yeah, it will be their first big show, headline show, I guess, here in Germany since a very long time. I think their last show was at Pop Partisan, I guess 2007, something like that.
Okay,
Could
so
it be?
that is very special, yeah, indeed.
It is very special. It is. I think all of the bands will have amazing sets. Also, I can't wait to see what kind of show DNS will have. I think it will be fantastic with Yvonne because she has such scary vocals. It gives me shivers every time I hear it. It's really insane show. It's intense.
It is. Yes, I just recently witnessed them when we met in Munich for the Dark Easter metal meeting, for example, and it was awesome as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them on your event as well. Maybe an open air gig, maybe a cooler thing.
Definitely. I am really stoked about this one. Stoked? Is that something someone says? Stoked?
Yeah,
stoked. Do you kids still use that slang? Do you kids still use that?
Yeah.
I'm stoked, yo.
So, for the organization as well, I'm curious as to were there people from the authorities who were not that big fans of having a black metal festival? Like, to some people, let's face it, it's always especially if you have a festival or an event like in the more rural areas, maybe people are not that thrilled hearing that a black metal festival is going to take place.
I want to say that I don't see a reason to call a black metal festival or death metal festival a death metal festival. I think that everything falls under the metal festival, and that's how we sell it as well. That's how we also told the authorities, and that's what we think. This is a metal festival. Also, I don't like to fall into those into those categories and sub categories of different genres. No, I don't think black metal festival is where we fall, even though the bands that play are that. But who knows? Maybe for the next edition, we will change somehow the concept.
And turn it into a jazz festival, for example.
Well, we all have our limits as well.
Okay. Yeah, how do we proceed? Like talking a little bit more about the bands that are that will be at the festival. We already spoke about so many bands there, but what is like your favorite entry? The entry you are most proud of, you're most stoked for, that you are having them at your festival?
I think I will let Alex go with this one because she has such an amazing taste that it's really great. Go on.
I mean, for me, a personal favorite would have to be DNS. I never thought one, that I would see the band live, and two, that would actually be the ones to book them. For me, I was always looking up to this band, and as well having a female singer, a female black metal singer. That's pretty fucking awesome, and you don't really see that every day. So the personal favorite is that, and two, I am really looking forward to see as well Umbra Conscientia. They played as well in Bergen at Beyond the Gates, and unfortunately missed their show, but really looking forward this time. And as well our more local band, Hexen Circle, they're always putting on an amazing performance, and I'd say these are some of the ones that are really more personal favorites that I'm really looking forward to.
I guess I look at it as more of a friends festival because many of the bands that we booked are good friends of mine as well, and also bands whom I really will work with almost every day, such as the guys from Sweden, because we will have a Swedish invasion here. We have Nagelfar, Bewitched, and Malachim. They're all coming from the same town in North Sweden.
We have so many Swedes.
Too many.
Too many.
Yeah, but it will be insane as well. The bass player of Nagelfar, Alexander Freeberg, aka Impaler, he will also run his own tattoo tent in the festival alongside his fiancée Ida and a very good friend Verena. All three of them will make their own tattoos. I think you should book your appointment now because it will be really crazy and really good. So all of those bands and friends and tattoo tent, it's really something to look forward to. But musically speaking, I guess I really want to see Umbra Conscientia because their albums are insane. It's sonic chaos, yet still organized in a very audible way because it's really intense. I would also really like to see Chaos Invocation and Achlis. All of them have such amazing shows. Yeah, let's see what's going on. I'm really excited about that.
What about you, Sebi? What are you looking forward to?
Well, actually,
looks like he is looking forward to sleep with his face. Smile a little bit, man.
Well, sorry, that's just my face. I'm always looking like that, and I'm always fucking tired. But the bands I'm looking forward to the most are probably really DNS, Malachim, Hexen Circle, because they always put on a great show. It's always great to see them live. It's just an energetic performance you don't get every day from other bands. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Horn again, because I really like it. I really like the stuff he put out, and the last 3-4 albums were just great in my opinion. So these are the bands I'm looking forward to the most, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I must say that about Accent Circle. They are kind of our house band already, right? I think it will be their third show at Hall in the Sun or something, right? Third or fourth. I stopped counting, you know.
Yeah.
I stopped counting, but they are so good. Theotoxin as well. It will be their second show in a row at Hall in the Sun. We just love them. They are great guys, really good band. Really, they are really capturing the essence of black metal. It's really in a really fantastic and also straightforward way, you know.
No, what I'm really what I find really interesting is that I have seen much of the bands, many of the bands who are attending the festival. I have seen like in the last couple of like last year, in the last couple 2 years. Because Aklis and Chaos Invocation were on tour last year as well. I saw them in Oberhausen, for example, and they put on a great show. It was amazing. Like Aklis really struck me, like with the long atmospherics. Like maybe okay, one can discuss their face masks. They are the leather masks. Okay, maybe, but still, music-wise, it was awesome. And Chaos Invocation put on a hell of a show as well, of course. Which band did we not yet mention?
So many.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say was I'm still looking forward to seeing them at your festival because of the setting, of the size of the event. Not in a club show. I've seen Theotoxin in a club show and Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cult recently in the backstage in Munich, but still I'm looking forward to seeing them on a bigger stage, like on a stage on an open air event. Yeah.
Another band that should really will really be like an interesting point is Nubi Vagant. I really hope I say it right because I always get those wrong, those band names. But it's a really different kind of black metal. It's a different sound, different vocals, yet it all fits in such an excellent way. And even though that they are a duo, it sounds like a 5-piece band. It's crazy. If you guys know, we are talking about also the guy who is behind Darvatsa and also Chaos Invocation. And
it's insane how many projects bands, he's involved in, right?
I think he's like in 666 bands or so. I have no idea, but he's really, really good. And he's a really nice guy as well. I will give him that.
Also, just another band to point out that we've booked them once before, not with Hole into Sun, with a partnership with Hole into Sun, but Cosmoclator from Belgium.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not sure did they play before in Germany?
I don't know if they played in Germany.
I don't know right now. I have not seen them.
But I have just seen this afternoon that they have printed special edition shirts for Hole in the Sun of their interpretation of our logo, and it looks fucking amazing. It's really cool, and I think those kind of things really give you hope. When bands take the festival as seriously as you do, that's when you know that you're on the right path.
But you're not aware if any other bands also plan something like that?
Well, not really. But if they would, it will be really great. Hint, hint.
Hint, hint.
Cough, cough.
Cough, cough.
Wink, wink. Yeah. So many bands. We have Trivex from England. Wait. Don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. Be polite. Thank you. I think Tribex is a really interesting band as well from England. I think they really bring something different as well to the stage. Really more of a raw show, as well as really cool sounds and songs. Who else is an interesting band? Lucifericon from Holland.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Have you heard those albums? What the fuck? Really, really good band. Alex, can you think of any other bands of those 20 bands? It's crazy, but
Half Past.
Halfas.
Oh, Halfas as
Halfas.
well.
Halfas.
Yes.
How could I
Halfas.
forget Halfas? We always forget the underdogs. Yeah. Halfas.
Halfas as well has been one of those bands that has been with us from the very beginning. They've been supporting us. Their members have been supporting us, and they've been part of the Hole in the Sun family, and it's great to offer them the stage again. I think it's the second event that they will be playing
Yes.
with us.
They played at Transcendence, yeah, and they really killed it. Really killed it with the new singer.
With Hendrix vocals, yeah.
We just recently did an interview with Tempestas as well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them again, because on the Transcendence event last October, they were one of the best bands on stage. They delivered such a great performance.
Oh yeah, I agree.
It was very dense, of course.
Yes.
And also Hexencirkel were there. We already spoke about them.
House band.
Always. House band, yeah.
House band.
Let's drop some names. We did not yet mention
Datus.
We have not yet mentioned Krater. We have not yet mentioned Abglanz and Gasbrand as well.
Yeah. Let's start talking about Datus. Datus from England. Yeah. Okay. I think the last release, I think, was like 3 weeks ago or a month ago. Really, really fresh. I must say I didn't found the time yet to listen to the new stuff, but the old stuff is really, really cool, really good. And I think they also played last year at Odyssey to Blasphemy, which are also good friends of ours. So shout out, respect, and thank you for the help. That will be a really good band to witness. Abglanz, we met actually in Kassel at Goldgrube when they opened. I think it was for Sir Bliss. They opened for them, and I did the sound and the show. And we became friends then. And then obviously the offer came. Gasbrand was Lucas's connection from Marburg. He brought them to the table, and it was really cool. And I think it's also really important that we support local bands. It's really, really important that we do that, or else what is this for, I think you should always nurture and give stage to local bands and give them that boost that they need.
It's a good thing that you say that you stress it out so much. That's supporting the underground starts not only supporting events that are a little bit bigger already. It starts with supporting what's going around in your town, in your area, of course.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, even though I don't believe in this concept of local scene that much nowadays. When we have the internet and we can all drive somewhere with our car or train or whatever, local scene became something much bigger. But but when we say local scene, is bands who are near our area. That's
yeah, of course.
Have we covered all bands? Have we talked about Krater?
No, we have not yet talked about Krater.
Then I will leave it to you, Sebastian.
I can probably I can't tell you much about them because I don't really have them on my radar right now. So maybe you should do your best and tell me something.
Well, I have seen half of the show once. I just can't remember where. I think it was somewhere in Munich, and I've seen a live video of the band, and I've heard their album, and I thought, okay, that would be cool. And I got in touch with the band, and everyone were on board and interested. So I said, okay, let's make it happen. I think it will be a really good addition for the festival. No, even though that we have so many bands from Germany, but still, no, I think it's always good to have different bands, right? Different styles, and they do have their own unique style of black metal as well. So that's cool. What else? I think
you already covered. You already mentioned that not only will the people be weighted by some excellent music, but also from some tattoo artists as well. What else is there? People who come to the festival will be witnessing, will be seeing.
Well, we will definitely have a really cool bar, as always. Every night when the show ends, we start a party until daylight comes, until everyone falls off their feet. What else do we have though? We have the tents for merch. We will obviously have some local food vendors, and most importantly, I think we will have a local craft brewery stall, which will present their own independent line of craft beers. So for all you hop heads out there, that's for you. Alex, can you help me here?
You pretty much covered everything. I think the small tradition from Holland to Sun is the after party.
Oh yeah.
We always want to give not only to our visitors but as well to the bands, to the crew, just a full night, like to relax, to just go absolutely crazy. So if you want a good party, we'll be there.
Crazy.
Early morning.
Crazy is the right word. Oh yeah. And
if I remember the parties at the Goldgrube correctly, then
if you remember, yes. Then it's already a problem. I think if you don't remember, it's a sign of a good party.
Apparently that's the thing. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to an after party with you guys as well. On top, as far as I'm aware, you have not yet posted like a schedule, a time schedule for each day. Is there anything? Is there everything settled yet?
Yeah. Everything is already set in stone. However, I think we will publish the running order. I think either at the end of May or early June.
I think we still have 2 months to go as well until the festival, and it's quite
2 months. God damn it, time runs fast. Time really runs fast. Really
a bit less than 2 months.
And I've not yet seen any pictures of the site the festival takes place in yet. Are you planning on like unveiling a little bit more in the time that is like in the next couple of weeks before the festival?
Is it something that one does? I don't remember any festivals that do that.
It is not a thing. I mean, it's not obligatory, I guess.
You know what?
I
will go the next week.
Personally, I'm just curious as to how everything looks like.
I will go the next week and take photos just for you, okay?
Okay.
I think last time we were there as well, was back in winter. We do have some really nice.
Snow.
Everything was covered in snow, so I haven't been there since then. And I think if we did release the pictures from winter, it wouldn't really be the perfect. It wouldn't do the place justice. And also
now you will just discover that they're always that everything is covered by flowers.
I mean, a small part will be.
Well, flowers are there to stomp on, so because it is so black metal to stomp on flowers, right? That's what you do.
But just something really cool to point out about the festival ground is that we do have a lot of trees surrounding the festival area. So compared to other festivals, when you're camping and when you're watching bands, you will actually have some shadow. So you won't be sweating balls in June, and you won't wake up in 30 degrees weather in your tent breathing for fresh air. So that's something I'm looking forward to see in summer, how the place will look like with all the trees green and will look cool.
Yes, I think the entire camping area is covered by oak trees, etc., and there is really so much shade, and everything is full of really cool, like cold cool, like air. So it's really nice, and I think it's exactly what you want when you camp. That's really something important, or at least in my opinion it is.
Sebi, help me out here. If you and me visit a festival, like okay, we will definitely help you guys out, and we will be there, like speaking and speaking with bands and seeing the bands and taking pictures and video, of course. But like if when we go to a festival as a visitor, what do we expect on top? What could be of interest for us? Like what can people do? What can people ask for from the festival organizers on top of what we spoke about?
Even on top, you mean on top of organizing the festival itself, getting the bands there?
What else do you want?
Getting food there, getting beer there. I don't know, maybe because actually I like to concentrate on the music first and foremost. So it's not anything on top of it. It's just nice to have. It's always cool to have something else. Like the tattoo tent is something that really interests me, and I think that's a really cool addition to the festival. But I don't see it as a necessary thing for a festival or something. For me it's just all about the music, drinking some beers with friends, having a good time. That's what I want from a festival. So if I can camp there, if I have a place where I can stow my car, if I can get drunk, and if I can listen to music, that's all I need pretty much. And if the weather is fine, that's the best thing about it. But this is something you cannot really influence. So
fingers crossed for good weather.
Yeah.
And you always need more ink. Come on, you always need more and more ink. You just can't have. Okay, that's it. I will have my small thing here on my dick, and that's it. No, you need more, and more is more. That's why we have three artists for that purpose.
And as well, just like the bands, we do have more the Swedish artists, the Swedish tattoo artists.
Two of them, and one German. Yeah.
We'll definitely link the artists so people can who already bought the tickets can make appointments as well, or at least see and look into their art. Yeah.
Definitely. Yes. Definitely.
Talking about accommodation, maybe there are people who wish to attend the festival but are not aware if there is any good place if you don't want to set up a camp, if you don't want to spend your days sleeping in a tent. Have you already looked into that as well? For some people who would rather have accommodation, like
for the general visitors, I don't think there is something local nearby that is actually good. So if you would like a hotel, I suggest you search for something in the city of Kassel. And then you can use either your vehicle or public transportation. We have a huge parking lot where you can leave your car and then you can just travel with public transportation or travel daily from the hotel to
Okay.
the festival.
So it is not that difficult to like get from Kassel, from the town of Kassel to Espenau to the festival site.
No, it's not. I think because it's in a village, you will need to get a tram and then a bus if you don't like to walk that far. So, and it's really fast. I think you can make the trip in 30 minutes tops, and that's cool. I will be honest. It's not that easy as going to a venue in the city. You know, when there is a tram station and everything is nearby. We are talking about a village, and the location itself is kind of outside of the residential area, just a touch. So there is some walking involved, but 10-minute walk max. But we strongly advise to use our camping area. You will really like it. But if you are a gentle spirit, then I suggest you will use some hotels in the city, and that's it.
Okay. So what else is there to say? Is there anything you guys want to speak in general also about? Anything we have not yet covered properly? Is there anything you feel that has to be mentioned on top?
Yes, we want to stress the fact that our capacity is limited to 700 visitors. We will not get more. Once we reach that cap, festival is sold out, and there will not be any chance for anyone to get entrance, not even as a daily ticket, because once we get to that threshold, that's it, it's over. And no one can buy any more tickets. So hurry up, buy now, or you will cry later. That's all I have to say about that topic. Alex?
I think you covered it pretty much all.
Yeah, I think we covered everything here.
And if there is still someone who is not sure about buying a ticket, what do you want to tell those people?
Like every other festival or production, everyone are so dependent on pre-sales. It is a really crucial step, and there are so many festivals out there that have been canceled because of low sales. Because when you book bands, you book flights and you book hotels, and you pay and you pay, and your budget grows thinner and thinner and thinner, and you need the pre-sale sales to support that. And if you don't have that, everything can fall apart. We are not there, but we don't want to get there as well. So we are very, very dependent on pre-sales. Yeah. So if you have any doubts, you can always buy a ticket, and if you change your mind, you can resell it or cancel it. But it's important to always support events like that.
Yeah.
Because if those events die, they will not come back again. And we've seen it with previous big festivals in this area. I think it was Kings of Black Metal that was in Alsfeld, also same area as Kassel, sort of. I think it was an hour down south. And I think same production was also Satan's Convention. I think it was the same guys who did that. Sadly, those events are no longer here just because of that point. When sales are low, it affects everything, and people suffer, and they will not do it again. So we all need to always support those kind of things. I think it's important.
I think especially after the pandemic situation, it is even more important to keep festivals, keep events alive, and and also give a new event a chance, and also look into what new events can offer you.
Absolutely. I think if people haven't learned from the problems that came from the pandemic to festivals and bands, then the situation is bad. But I think everyone have learned. However, I keep hearing things like, I'm not sure if I will go to Hole in the Sun because it's not an established festival. I'm like, what is an established festival?
Yeah, what is it?
How do you establish a festival? This is
you have to start somewhere to be able to establish a festival.
And as well, this is such a condescending thing to say, because you must support this form of art if you are into that, if you like black metal, if you live that, I guess you can say, lifestyle and music, you should support that. And you do that by buying tickets for shows, for festivals. You go and you buy records and you buy shirts and you support this fabric, right? I mean, that's how it stays strong, apes strong together. That's how it works.
Nice thing. Yeah.
Well, you couldn't have said it better, I guess. So just people should always support shows and festivals, especially the ones that are coming new to the market, I guess, because they have it the hardest to accommodate an audience, to get the audience, and to really make a name for themselves. But I guess you guys already made a name for yourselves, and especially in the Kassel area, I guess. So maybe I hope it goes really well this year.
I think so too. I think we managed to establish our name in the underground show scene, mini festivals, and I think this is really the next natural step, because I don't think we will do larger events than that. I think that's something that we are happy with, and really, and we are getting so many excellent feedbacks from people from, I guess, the area and other countries too, that are buying tickets and always saying that the lineup is excellent, and really we are really happy about that.
I feel like when people saw the flyers, at least the people I talked to when we met 2 weeks ago in Munich, when people saw the flyers, and there were some people who have not yet heard about the festival still, and they were just so impressed about the finely distilled composition of bands you put together. So I think there were some people who were then deciding on coming. I hope so, but from their reactions, I think so. Yeah,
I do think the same, that our lineup is really good. We really managed to capture, like, I guess, different sub genres of black metal, and really every band on that bill is simply fantastic, and we are really happy and proud of this as well.
There might be no filler bands, at least to me, and at least to
what
our
is a filler
team.
band?
Yeah, what is a filler band? I mean, okay, well, bigger festivals always have a band which you can say, yeah, let's skip that to like grab a drink or grab something to eat or something. But this time, I'm pretty much looking forward to every band's performance.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap things up a little bit. In the end, I would just ask you guys if you have one specific release of one of the bands who attending the festival. If you can just recommend one album, one release, maybe something recent, maybe something older. If you just have one thing people should definitely check out about one of your favorite bands from the festival. Maybe who wants to start?
I will let Alex start with that one.
Anything coming to mind?
Sorry. For me, two new releases are as well from one from Hessen, one of the albums that they've released last year, and one.
Untergraben, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
And as well, the album from Umbra Conscientia. They have released as well a new album last year, and as well both albums absolutely amazing, and looking forward to actually purchase them on vinyl as well.
I hope all the bands will bring merch as well.
Yeah,
we
of course.
hope so too. Yeah, of course. But yeah. I'm pretty sure they will.
For me, those would be the two.
Okay.
For me, I guess what I'm really looking forward to is finally seeing my friends Malachim from Sweden. I guess you can say they really keep that Swedish black metal sound, yet in a new way. And their last album, Theon, is magnificent. It's really bombastic. And so I'm looking forward to this one especially.
Sebi, what about you?
Well, the first release that springs to my mind when I look at the lineup for Hole in the Sun Festival is probably Theotoxin's last output, Totenruhe. It's one beast of an album.
Oh yeah.
It's going full speed from start to finish, and I really loved it. But also a little bit older, from Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cult, Soldarian Spell is an album that really makes me shiver every time I hear it. So these are two albums I really, really recommend to everyone listening or watching this podcast to just give it a go if you haven't heard them, and come to the Hole in the Sun Festival. That would be
everyone should come.
That would be a good thing. Yeah.
Well, not everyone, but
I would love to put an emphasis on Akli's last output, Melinoe. I hope I pronounced that correctly. From 2020, and with Aklis, you have a band here that has, to my knowledge, not been on stage that often yet. They were on tour obviously last year, but they had their live debut. I guess it was like directly before the pandemic started. I guess it was somewhere at the Ascension Fest in Iceland, out of all places. But afterwards, their last album was a potent and powerful thing. I can't stress how much I'm looking forward to this gig. So I recommend definitely that album. Yeah. So, okay. Anything anything you want to say in the end?
Yes, we need you guys to buy tickets. We need you guys to come to witness all those bands, to celebrate with us the essence and spirit of black metal. I think it would definitely be one of the best metal events in Germany of this year. So really come there and be a part of the history of that festival.
Nice final words. That's good. I'm very happy that people from the authorities also put the cultural aspect over anything else, that they work with you guys, that it is possible to have a new festival going around in Germany, especially at a site where not many people have been to before, even though you mentioned that there were some small events taking place there. Still, I'm very much looking forward to it, and I recommend everyone to come to this festival as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, thanks for being part of our podcast. Thanks for introducing the Hole in the Sun collective to a broader audience. If you guys have still questions about the festival, about the Hole in the Sun collective, you will most definitely find them on social media. You can put your questions in the comments as well. And of course, as always, all recommendations we just spoke about in this podcast will be put into our Spotify playlist as well. Thanks for being part of this, and I hope to see you guys at the festival.